Good afternoon, guys. Welcome back to another episode. Vegas Views, Dawn Sullivan, Danny Miner, Absolutely No Meds. Danny, how was your week?
My week's always good.
I gotta do a shout out first.
Go ahead.
Before we do that, I just forgot. Danny's daughter.
Oh,
Tell
yeah.
me her name.
Jocelyn.
Jocelyn is 27 years old today. Happy birthday, Jocelyn. So, guys, please, write on in, tag on in, give Jocelyn a happy birthday.
I want her to come on the show today, but she wouldn't. She's not like me.
Yeah.
She's kind of
Yeah.
introverted.
That would have been so cool, though.
And she's a therapist, so it'd be awesome, if she came in there. But
I just have to put this out here. So Danny is a father of a 30-year-old and a 27-year-old.
Yes.
That just blows my mind because I look at you and I think there is no way you have a 30-year-old child, which is really crazy. But yeah, he's a 30-year-old.
well,
Right?
listen, when you look at my TikToks, you wouldn't think that because I
No.
put the filter on.
No, even in real life, you don't look like you're old enough to have a 30-year-old.
Listen, I put them filters on. It does wonders for you.
Yeah.
Like when I take the filter off, I do this, right? So I'm looking at myself, right? I'm looking at myself. I'm like, hey, I look pretty good. And then I take the filter off, and it's like, I got to keep that on. I want to keep followers coming.
You know what? He looks great in real life, ladies. You know what is funny to me, though, being a talent agent, I have a lot of people that send me photos. And my biggest thing is before I even meet with them, I want them to send me photos. Well,
Right.
that backfires because I have a bunch of people sending me photos. And I look at them. These girls are stunning. These guys are in shape. Everyone's perfect. They show up at my office.
They're
No
not-
offense. I'm not talking to anyone specific. But they show up at my office. And it was like, whoa, you whitened your teeth. Your lips look a little bit bigger. Your skin is completely clear. You look 46 years younger. I'm like, holy shit. And then I have to sit there in front of the person and say, well, I don't know if I have anything for you at this time. So I stopped asking for pictures. Now I won't work with people until they meet me in person.
That's true.
So yeah, no, I won't. You got to come there, sit there. And when they ask, oh, why did we have to come all the way down here and meet you? Can't you do it through photos? Yeah, if you were telling the truth in your photos and you didn't go ahead and send me. I had a week, guys. I'm just warning you.
You're last week it was me.
Yeah.
I'm like calm this
I'm
week.
hot
I didn't
today.
even take gummies yet,
You're
and
hot
I'm
today.
calm this week. I'm calm this week. I don't know why I'm
That's so
calm. I'm
funny.
not in a bad mood or anything today.
Yeah, and I had to tell you another thing too. I am a little hot today. I'll tell you, I got a lot going on.
All right.
But I was thinking to myself, I know why we're the #1 show. I was having like a crazy week, and I was like, I need some me and Danny, so I put it on in the car, and I do things in clips. So I watch us like in clips, and the clip of me telling everyone how smooth you are with the ladies, I couldn't stop watching that clip. I'm like, that shit is so true, and it's funny because it's true. That was one I watched all week, and I'm like, that's why we're the #1 show, because like you could be, it's like a piss mood. People could be pissing you off. Life could be crapping all over the place, but I'm like, we're funny. Like, you're just nuts, too. And then there was another one I watched. I think Maria clipped it, our manager. I don't know which one it was, too, that she clipped this week. That was hysterical. But I went back and watched all of them. And I'm like, yeah, that's why we're the #1 show. We're funny.
Oh yeah,
Log in, watch us.
People love it, and I'm starting to. What I'm going to do is I'm going to promote it more on my
Oh, wait.
TikTok.
You got recognized.
Oh yes, this was the
Yes.
best.
Yes.
All right, I got to tell you what happened. Yeah, listen, I've been recognized twice now, so
Okay.
this is the second time.
Very good.
All right,
Yeah.
but this one was really good because the guy was staring at me, and I thought the guy didn't like me. Honest to God, I thought the guy wanted to fight me or something because
Yeah.
he was staring at me, and it was weird.
Yeah.
Okay, so we walk into South Point. I was with my daughter, right?
Okay.
We went to the buffet and everything, right?
I love that buffet.
It is. It's
Great
good.
buffet. Check out South Point
Yeah,
Buffet. It's
it's
old
awesome.
school, but it's cool. It has like a lot of everything. Yeah.
I love it, especially the dinner was really good.
Yeah.
We went for dinner. It was good. And it's
Yeah.
not that expensive. It's
And
okay.
if I were to gamble, which I don't gamble, those machines are pretty good.
South
If
Point's
I-
my favorite
yeah,
place to
If I
gamble.
were to gamble, I don't do those.
Honestly, I know we're getting a little bit off topic, but like we always do.
Yeah.
But to me, South Point has the loosest slots.
Yeah.
I win there
Absolutely.
more than any
Any
place.
place.
Yeah, I
Absolutely.
love South Point. And so does everybody. You never go
Great.
to South Point without everybody being there.
Yeah.
The place is always packed. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah.
see, we get right off the subject.
Someone recognized you.
All right. So I walk in with my daughter, this and that. So they're having a celebrity blackjack tournament in there.
Ooh.
So I go over to it and I'm thinking to myself, I wonder if there's any celebrities that I'll see or anything. But here it was NASCAR. I don't really watch NASCAR. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm a big sports fan, but guys going around in a circle.
I know how you feel about the car zooming.
Yeah, I
around in a
mean,
circle. You
that's
make
for the
hair.
big truck D-bags that watch that, okay? So I'm not watching NASCAR. So the guy said, I said, who's that guy? He goes, oh, it's all the NASCAR drivers. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I stood there for a second, and this guy's looking at me like this, and I'm like, I'm looking at him, and I'm looking at me, and I'm uncomfortable,
Yeah.
Don, because the guy's staring at me. I'm thinking, this guy doesn't like me because I didn't know the NASCAR drivers?
Yeah.
I didn't know why he was staring at me, right?
Yeah.
Finally, he looks at me and goes, I know you. And I said, you know me? He goes, yeah, you're the crime solver on TikTok.
Yes,
I know you are.
I love that.
Yeah.
That is freaking awesome.
So then he says to me, he goes, I just saw Justin's here. And I didn't know who Justin was. it clicked to me when I got back home. Justin, he has 6.9 million followers. He was at South Point. All he does, Don, is make fun out of people. His whole thing,
I know
his
who
whole
Justin
TikTok.
is.
Yes,
I know who
all he
Justin
does to
is.
make fun, like
Yeah.
he'll say, "Listen," like he'll
Yeah.
duet people. Listen, did you know
So and
monkeys
so.
have 10 toes and
Yes.
one is, and he
Yes.
makes fun out of everybody.
Yeah.
But because of his comedian thing like that, the guy's like 6.9 million
And
followers.
he's kind of funny.
He is
He's
funny.
kind of funny.
He's great.
Yeah.
So if I knew, I would have met him and did a TikTok with him.
That would have been epic.
I know. I'm so mad.
That's what we need to
I'm
do.
so mad. I could have
Yeah.
done a TikTok with him. So
Yeah.
But I'm going home. I'm leaving Halloween.
Okay.
Going home for 6 days.
Halloween's the 31st.
Yeah,
And then you're back when?
the 5th.
So you miss one Tuesday.
I miss
with
one
us.
Tuesday.
I'll be alone. I think I have Jason with me on Tuesday. That would be really cool. But then I'm leaving
And I'll be
on the 9th. You'll be here by
Yeah.
yourself or with whomever, maybe Jason or
Yeah.
whoever. And then I come back the day before your birthday, which is the
13th.
13th because I'm back the 12th. That's right. I know my trip based on Danny's birthday. That's it. All I know is I'm back before Danny's
And
birthday.
I'm the 2 nickels this year, man.
Uh-huh.
I'm feeling it too. I think I aged a lot this year.
You think so?
Yeah. Like I'm definitely look at you can see on the film. Look how gray I am. But I did let my beard grow
You're
out.
pretty gray.
I let my
You
beard
look
grow
good,
out.
Danny. But you know what? I told you something too. I will promise you something.
What?
The yelling. I know you get it all the time from everyone, and I don't want it to be so close to home. But the yelling, the screaming, the red face, the aggressiveness, the da 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 da, the way that you are, it ages you.
You think it is?
I know. The facial expressions. What do
That's
you
what it
think?
is.
I don't make facial expressions. Look at me. I don't make facial expressions. I can't, first of all.
It helps me
honest,
because my
but I-
skin's a little darker too. With
Yeah.
the darker skin, you don't
Yes,
age as much.
That is true.
It is
the
true.
yelling and the screaming
Yeah.
and the facial expressions, it could age you
Okay.
too.
But
And make you gray.
It's
I'm
not
just
gonna.
saying.
It's not gonna stop.
I know.
It's not.
I
Gonna
don't
stop.
think you could stop if you
And
tried.
listen, I thought of this other thing. I thought, men just look funny when they dye their hair or anything. They do. I think it's because we get used. Women always dye their hair. Women has always dyed their hair, so we're used to seeing it. When women dye their hair, it's really not a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
But you see a man dye his hair. Come on, man, you could see that. You know what I mean? That's why I never do it.
I
Like
do.
I'm not going to dye my beard.
I say this every single
Do you
week.
think I should?
Nope. My head's someplace else. I say this every single week. I'm like, okay, he hates this one, he hates this one, he hates this one, he hates this one. So it's so many people now that dislike us, but now I'm going to get, because I'll get the DMs. What the fuck is Danny saying about the men that dye their hair? I dye my hair. I look great. Blah, 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 blah.
I'm just saying. I just think it.
Personally, for Danny, he doesn't like his hair being dyed, but it's okay that you guys do it.
Yes. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Now, I didn't get a haircut today. Oh, Jason dyes his hair. Jason's over here.
Jason's over here, and I honestly, for a second, I'm like, no, that's natural on Jason. That's very dark. Maybe he does dye it. And I'm like, oh, there Danny goes, putting his foot in his mouth again, but that's okay. 'cause
Jason
Danny
looks
lives
good
through
on you.
that.
It just wouldn't look good on me. Like, if I dyed this beard, you would know it was dyed.
Yeah, but someone that has never met you may not have known.
Oh, no, it's noticeable. It looks like, remember them things when we were young? You'd take the magnet and bring it up and put a beard on the guy. You remember that toy? You gotta remember
I
that.
know what toys. It's like sand.
Yes, that's what it looks like. Right? Come on. I'm not going to dye my beard.
Not on Jason.
Not on Jason. He doesn't have a beard. I think you dye your beard, it looks, it just don't
No,
look
I
right.
understand completely.
And listen, but I'm, like, my beard was cool. If you're looking at me there, it was cool when it was just gray. Now my whole beard's gray.
No, it's not. This is very gray, but you're still a little dark in here and in the mustache. A little bit.
I don't know. I'm getting
But I gotta be honest, I saw those pictures of you when you were younger. Ladies, if you think Danny is cute now, and he's seriously cute in real life, it's not just the blue eyes and the filter and the whole thing. But when he was younger and you just had like weight, you were built, you were like this, yeah.
You know what's
Yeah.
funny? I mean, I shouldn't be talking like this, but I never had a problem getting dates when I was a kid or anything like that. And I was never in really good shape either.
See, you look like you were though.
I was always like,
You look in those pictures like you're like working out in the gym every day. You look big, like your neck was big. You were just like a big dude.
listen,
It looks that way.
It's funny that you said that. I was thinking this last night. Like when I was a cop, honestly, and I'm not bragging, I'm only 5'9", maybe 5'8.5". Okay, I'm short, and I'm about 180 pounds right now. But when I was a cop, I was so strong. I was benching 400 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
I would go into a fight and know I wasn't losing.
Yeah.
I didn't care if the guy was 6'5".
Well, did you
I was
really
stronger
have
than
to
him.
be that way as a cop back then? Because you really had to work as a cop back then and take people down and
Yeah.
not just like point your gun and shoot them, right?
Don, I would fight on a weekend, 3 fights a weekend.
Yeah.
Honest to God, I've probably been in 500 fights.
Because you were a real officer. You
Yeah,
were like an
yeah.
actual. No, what I mean, I don't. Oh man, now the Okay, I don't mean that, officers. Metro, everyone, NYPD. I'm so sorry, everyone. I didn't mean a real officer. I meant back in his day, you physically had to fight.
Yes.
Not like now where they don't. They
We didn't have
urge them
pepper
not
spray.
to.
We didn't have
Yeah.
anything. There was no pepper spray. There was no tasers. There was
Yeah.
no nothing. You were fighting a guy.
Yeah.
That was it. And we probably fought 3 people a weekend. I went to bar fights. I got a bar fight story. You want to hear?
Yeah.
It's going to be, I got a curse.
Okay.
She'll bleep it out. We don't go by the FCC here, do we? Do we,
Danny,
Maria?
If we went, we would have been canceled our very first show. The very first show, I think they would have been like, bye, these two.
All right, listen, I got a story for you, so I'm on patrol.
Okay.
Me and my buddy are on patrol, right? And I say it's Dave, the
Okay.
guy
Okay, I
that,
know.
okay?
Yeah, yeah.
So we're patrol midnight shift. They call us to an incident to back up a neighboring police department that was like in a high-speed chase. So we leave our town,
Okay.
and we go about 9 miles outside of our area. They call us when we get there and said, hey, go back to such and such a bar. There's a bar fight.
Okay.
So we are 20 minutes away from this bar, and they said this is a huge bar fight. So we're going, and usually they'll call us back and say, hey, they broke the fight up, this
Everything's
and that.
fine.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah.
Never. They keep calling us and saying, are you there yet? Are you there yet? This fight sounds like it's getting worse. The fight sounds like it's getting worse. I'm like, oh, God. So finally we get there, and as I'm pulling up to the bar, I see 2 guys outside the bar, like just haymakers. They're hitting each other, haymakers. And I'm like, the fight is outside. It's not inside the bar.
Yeah.
So as we pull up, these 2 guys see us and they run. So I don't chase them. I'm like, go ahead and run.
Yeah.
Fight's over. They ran, this and that, right? But here, the only reason they were fighting outside, because there was no more room to fight inside.
So there's a brawl going
Yes.
on inside.
So I pull up, I look through the door, and the entire bar is fighting. I mean, Dawn, and there's 2 of us. So I go in there with my loud Danny Miner mouth. I walk in and I yell, knock it the fuck off! That's what I yelled. And I screamed it through the whole building. And everybody stopped. Honest to God, everybody
Old
stopped.
school police power.
But
I
here's
love
the
that.
thing, they taught you. The first guy that gets out of line, he gets arrested.
Yeah.
So there was one loudmouth that didn't want to listen to me. And he was like, rah, 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 and I said, handcuffs, boom, handcuffs in the car.
Did
people
everybody
are
else shout?
like, he wasn't even involved. I don't care, disorderly conduct, boom, in the car. But they teach you that. You arrest the aggressive guy.
Of course.
So there was one guy that didn't want to go with the program, but everybody else, my big yell just stopped the fight. Now, if they didn't, what the heck was I going to do?
Yeah.
I mean, the whole bar was fighting. If they didn't listen to me, I don't know what the heck I would have done. But everybody listened to me. But I've been to so many bar fights. I was at
Did
a
you
bar.
ever get hurt?
I got punched in the face. I've only been punched in the face once as a cop. Only once.
By a male or female?
Male.
Shocked.
Yeah.
I'm shocked. I thought a woman would have hit you for some reason. I don't know why I thought that. Like, right, can you imagine? I don't know. I just thought Danny would have got smacked by a woman once or twice.
You want to hear the story?
Yeah, but do you ever get a drink spilled on you? Like in the face?
No.
You're a good guy.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Come on. Tell me the story.
I'm not mean to women.
No, that's not mean to women. I just could just picture someone punching you in the mouth like a female.
Well, I was actually very liked as a cop. Like, the community, they loved me.
I can see that.
Yes.
You're kind, you're nice to everyone.
Yes.
I can see that.
So people loved me
Yeah.
because I was your guy that I have ADHD, so I'd park the car downtown and go into all the businesses and BS with everybody. Hey, did you see the football game? Did you see this? So the whole town knew me because I talked to everybody. That's how I ended up becoming chief of police, because the town liked me.
Yeah.
Not because I was the best cop or
Right.
anything. The town liked me, so that's why they made me chief of police. And I always say that. I never lie. I wasn't the
Yeah.
best cop. I mean, I was the best
But
talker.
you were the best guy for that job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was the best talker. I wasn't
Yeah.
the best cop. And I don't even know, where were we going?
You were going to tell me about the time you got punched in the
Oh,
face.
so we get called to a domestic.
Okay.
Okay, we get there, and it's actually sad. I've seen some horrible things.
Yeah.
Do you ever see them fireplace pics? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. The
The
pokers.
pokers,
Yeah,
the stoke
yeah.
up the flyer, right? A guy took that and hit his wife in the head with it.
Oh,
She was
hell no.
busted open when I got there. He hit her with this thing, and he's one of these little guys,
Mhm.
that he weighed about 110 pounds,
Mhm.
and he had no shirt on, and he was sweating, and we start fighting this guy,
Mhm.
right? So we're in there, and we can't get a hold of him because he's sweating. So I can't get him on the ground. I'm trying to grab him. He's sweating. I'm losing thing, and I lose grip of his hand, and he hits me right here. He throws this haymaker punch, right? And I saw it coming, so I turned my head, and he hit me right around here when he hit me. And him being 120 pounds, and I was like 260, benching 400, I laughed at it. I mean, it didn't even faze me. I looked at him and like, buddy, that didn't even faze me. And you punched me right in the face, and it didn't even faze me.
Oh, good.
So
you didn't get hurt.
Oh,
you
of course
hurt.
I did.
Okay, good.
But we ended up taking him in custody, nice and easy.
I want to talk about that for a second. Let me ask
He
you.
went real easy, Don. Just handcuffs. I said, hey, that's okay that you punched me in the face. We handcuffed him, put him.
See? Oh, shit, and he won't admit it. This is like one of my life goals now for Danny to admit the truth behind some of what those cops would do, because I know they were like gangster mafia cops. I know it. Some guy's gonna punch you in the face, and you and your boys are gonna take him out. Look, it's okay. I'll help you out, sweaty boy. No, not a shot. You beat his ass. Please tell me you didn't.
No, we didn't. We didn't.
Maybe I know too much about Suffolk County Police. I shouldn't say that. Long Island, New York, Suffolk County Police, one of the first major police stations from back in the day. They got some crooked stuff going on right now. You know about the Long Island serial killer?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he killed some people in Atlantic City, they believe, too.
And he had a place in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
He had timeshare here, so he didn't have a place. He had
Right.
some points or
Yeah.
whatever he
Right.
had here.
Right.
He had, but they're thinking there are 2 women or 3 women he might be connected to here. The reason why I bring that up, 1, we're a crime show. We seem to forget that every week. 2,
Are we a crime show? We're like Seinfeld. This show's just really
It's just
about
gonna
nothing.
go where it's gonna
We just
go.
sit here and we talk about how crazy Danny
I
is.
know. But not just that, too. No, it helps my week. It's therapeutic for me, too. Because there's someone that's like a little bit crazier than I am, and I get my balance for the week, and then I can proceed and move forward. But anyway, no, this police department, they are so shady, Danny. Like, I'm not kidding. They beat this guy up so bad. I forgot what he did. I think he told one of the sheriff's wives that they were having an affair, that he was having an affair. And they beat this guy so bad they were able to keep him in jail. Like, there was just a lot. Like, there's just so much with that police department that's just crooked and off. They're fine now. But
They're
anyway,
fine. They're good.
But anyway, they blame 10 years of not being able to find the Long Island serial killer on their police department.
Oh my God.
Saying that they are so shady, they were so shisty, they were in so much mafia shit that they just weren't able to find this guy. But finally, they found the guy, and he's in jail now.
Now, I'm from Northeast Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
That's where I was a cop. There's a police department. I believe it was Shenandoah Police Department. They were, this wasn't long ago, guys. This may be 15 years ago, 14 years ago. They were taking kickbacks from businesses.
Yeah.
They were going into businesses like the mafia and saying, you pay us $500, we'll watch your business more.
Not surprised.
Honest to God, they were
Not
taking,
surprised.
cops were taking kickbacks like the mafia.
That's what I think you were doing. That's what I think you were doing. And I think you fucking deny it to me. Because you know what happens? Because you tell these stories and they're so good and they're truthful and you know they're real and they're heightened and this happened, dude punched me in the face and just, oh, and then the guy punched me in the face and then we carted him away and everything was fine. Bullshit. And then there was another story of someone that did something to you and you're like, no, we just took him away. And I'm like,
Oh, that was the guy that tackled me.
yeah. And I was like, you didn't just beat his ass a little bit or something. Like, no. Bullshit. I don't believe it. Because I know if I was a cop in your position, no, if someone messes with your family member, you're not gonna kick them.
If somebody messed with my family, yeah, I'm getting arrested. Yeah, if somebody
So for punching you in the face, I don't know. I just think that. I don't know. Or maybe I want to hear that. Maybe I just when I ask you when you used to go back and forth and question the people. Maybe I want to know that you're tell me the fucking truth. Maybe
you
I
hit him with a telephone book.
Yeah.
That's all these bruises.
Do you do that?
She believed
I'm
looking over at Jason.
I want those live stories from Danny so bad. That's the shit I want to know. The truth, the guts of the police department. Nah, I'm just kidding. Danny was a good cop. We should get a bad cop on here once, or a mischievous.
Oh, that
cop
would
on here,
be good.
Just to hear,
The stories.
yeah,
Yes.
just to hear the story.
We would need a New York cop.
Yeah.
New York seems like they were the police department. Real quick, I'll tell you a story about Philly PD.
Yeah.
I went to a riot in Pittsburgh, right? And we knew the riot was going to start the next day, so we all met at this auditorium, this and that. They had Philadelphia police actually came to assist. And they so it was so funny because we were all sitting there saying, oh, the riots are going to be so bad. When we watched Philadelphia PD walk in, we were like, not anymore, because they are the ass-kicking police department. Philadelphia PD does not take any. You're getting your butt kicked by the Philadelphia PD. When I saw them walk in, I'm like, oh, we're good, Philly's there. Honest to God, because they don't take anybody's crap. Philadelphia takes nobody's crap.
I hear that. I have a similar story like that. I think we have 1 minute about. Okay, we've got a minute. I'll take it. I was on 9/11, and
Yeah.
I'll never forget. I was downtown Lower Manhattan, and I had to walk uptown and try to get over the bridge to get safely to my parents. And I'll never forget. They already had like the Marines on the ground, but I'll never forget NYPD. All the Marines, almost every military. As I was walking up away from the towers that had fallen, they were coming down.
You were there.
I was there. Yes.
I never knew that.
Yes.
Oh my gosh,
Yes,
I had
was
no
there.
idea.
Yeah, we'll interview that one day. Really interesting story.
Yeah,
But
we
anyway,
should do that.
It was kind of, I mean, I was shook up. I was a mess emotionally, but it was one of the most badass things I will never forget. And it will never come out of my mind. I'm walking up Fifth Avenue like this, and they're just coming down with their, guns that I had never seen in my life.
The Marines were there
The
already.
military were there. Everybody there. They were all there.
Oh my
They were
God.
everywhere. They were coming at Fort Totten. You know, well, you don't know where
No.
this is, but they came out of all of the, the whole streets, and they were all walking down toward. And I'll never forget that. And I thought, wow, NYPD is pretty badass. Like,
Wow.
they were just all working together. But I did see some sad stuff. I saw Marines sitting their head down crying. This was in the height of it. We
Yeah.
didn't know if what was getting hit next. Rumors were the Empire State Building was being cleared. They were getting hit next. But that was crazy. That's a whole nother story in itself. But explains a lot about, a lot about a lot. Okay, guys, we'll be right back. Commercial break. You don't want to miss that. I think we have a guest coming on. Be right back.
Traditional TV is going away. Hollywood is starting to fade. People are demanding real stories from real people. Our voices are now being heard in our own way. Podcasts, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok Live are becoming the norm. Internet TV has now reached the highest demand in human history. Social media shows is now the new media of the century.
John is an employee at one of the most famous firms in the city of New York, so his job is very hectic, and he realized that it is necessary for him to go and finally take a vacation. But he went on a vacation without planning out the details, and wasn't able to truly enjoy where he went because he had to think about so many things that he didn't plan for. Instead of enjoying his time away from work, he came back with more stress that he was not able to take full advantage of his vacation. But this year, a coworker suggested him to try World Ventures this time to make his vacationing more enjoyable and less stressful. They do not require you to plan anything outside of your transportation, which is also available at discounted rates. Your stay, your transport, and many meals are planned by the club. John liked the idea very much. He tries World Ventures, and his experience with the club was amazing, as he made many friends there with whom he had a great time. John recommends that everyone should try this club, as they are the best in business. See how the VIP-vacation-club.com can give you the right experience without all the hassle. Enjoy the VIP experience that only World Ventures provide.
Vegas Views, Dawn Sullivan, Danny Miner, no meds, questionable. Danny, so you drove a guy to his death.
Oh yeah, we were talking during break. I forgot to tell you.
Yeah.
I'm always telling these police stories. Dawn wants some juice though. She just
I do?
sooner or later she's gonna get it out of me. It's been 7 years. I can't even get in trouble anymore.
I know. Well, he's telling me, and I do the same thing, guys. I swear I do this to him. Danny, don't tell me. I want to know live, because I like the reaction of like what it's really going to be like. So you
I drove
legitimately
a guy-
drove a guy to his death.
He was murdered. I drove a guy to his murder. I kid you not. This is what happened.
Well,
all
what
right?
do you do? No, I'm just kidding.
we got, and they murdered him. Did you ever see the movie Casino when
Of course.
they killed Joe Pesci and
Of course.
they beat him with the bats? I mean, they basically killed this guy like this. It was crazy. But anyway, let me get to the story.
Okay.
This TikTok will definitely take this one down. We are not TikTok friendly. We're not social media friendly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the fact
Yeah.
checkers are right on me. I say
Yeah.
banana and I'm in trouble,
Oh,
right?
yeah, he got a video taken down. What was it? Because you called someone a banana.
I called Joe Biden a banana.
Oh, I thought it was Gavin Newsom. Oh, no, Joe Biden. He called
Yeah.
him a banana, and he got taken
I actually
down.
agreed with Newsom this week.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
I agreed
did.
with
That
him,
was
which is
weird.
weird
I was like,
shock.
what is he doing? He's agreeing with Newsom? Not my day's shit. Just kidding. Okay.
All right, we get called in midnight shift, right, to a prowler. Okay, I know you haven't heard that term in a long time, prowler. But there's a guy walking around.
I gotta pause this. I'm so sorry, but you know me so well because he looked at my face and she looked at me like, stop using old words. I rolled my eyes at him. I'm like, Danny, don't say prowler.
Stalker.
stalker.
See,
So much better.
I'm going to go with stalking, but the charge is loitering and prowling at night.
Prowling.
That's the charge.
For you guys that don't know, someone that stalks you, follows you around, stands outside your window, or even like,
Yes.
they're prowlers that like lurking and
You know how they're
prowling.
looking through the window that you're changing or in the shower? That's what they
Yeah.
were.
Nowadays, they're like
Yeah.
stalking you online. Prowlers.
And you don't even have to look through windows now. You just go to OnlyFans and it's there
Yeah.
for well, it costs you.
Social.
It costs you, what, 15, not that I would know, but there's a subscription
You
pack.
need an OnlyFans. I'm not kidding. You know how many women in my DMs are like, talk to Danny about that OnlyFans? And I'm like, he's cute and everything, but leave Danny alone on the OnlyFans. They like
Listen,
him.
I saw one of your pictures of a guy in like this little bathing suit that you posted. I was going to take
That
this.
is my number one model right now. I have a model. He's amazing.
That picture made me
His name is
uncomfortable.
Chase. His name is Chase. He is my fantastic model. I'm not supposed to pick favorites. That's what I learned this week about myself. That
Don, that picture was uncomfortable. I thought
Danny.
to myself. I mean, basically, he had these like I don't know. I didn't want to talk about. I don't want to talk
Attached
about
to
it.
the bathing suit was beautiful abdomen muscles. Oh, my production manager's like, hell yeah. You're talking about the yellow bathing suit guy. His name is Chase. Chase, if you're out there watching, awesome. He's such a good model. He's one of my favorite models.
I was going
adore
to text
him.
you guys and say I'm going to wear that to the show.
That would be awesome. That'd be awesome. Danny rolls up in a yellow, like, little bathing suit and thong with his edibles. Like, I'm ready to do the show. Let's get this
Oh my
party
God.
started.
Seriously, you had to see this. This was uncomfortable.
Well,
to
go
look at.
onto
It was
my
uncomfortable.
Instagram. He's all over because he's my favorite model. He's amazing.
Listen, I'm not saying the guy wasn't in shape. He was in
He's
shape.
in shape. He's a
But
good kid.
it was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
He had these like bikini bottoms on. Well, anyway, I'm trying to get that thought out of my head. Okay, it's gone.
Okay.
It's gone.
So you drove somebody to their death.
I drove
Legit.
somebody to their
All
death.
right.
You see how ADHD is? This is perfect because I can't stay on topic. But anyway,
That's what I'm here for.
Okay.
Just roll you right back.
so
in.
we get called that this guy's running through people's yards.
Okay.
Like running through, people are calling us in the neighborhood. There's a guy running through my yard. There's a guy on my back porch. There's a guy here. There's a guy. And this guy, so we get dispatched. We go and this guy's running through yards. And we're like, what the hell is this guy doing?
Yeah.
So we take him in custody. We bring him back to the station. Now, loitering and prowling at nighttime is a misdemeanor 3. It's the lowest misdemeanor you could.
Yeah.
So he's not going to go to jail that night. We just process him and release him.
Yeah.
Okay, there's no judge, there's no nothing. We, the police department, processes them and releases them.
Can I ask you something? What's that point, though, to process someone and release them? Just to be like, hey, we're taking you into, like, back then. Because they don't do that now, right? Process and release. You get locked up, you get locked up.
Yeah, here in Pennsylvania, you could choose to release somebody for a misdemeanor 2 or below.
But why take them anyway? Why not just give them a ticket or a
Because you have
citation?
to come in, they gotta get fingerprinted, they
Oh,
gotta get
okay,
mugshot. Yeah.
okay.
So they still
So
get
it's a
all that
process.
stuff. Yeah, and
Okay,
then you could release him. Now, if he's from out of state, you could choose to arraign him. So if
Okay.
he was like from another state, we
You
could choose.
can, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me. Okay.
This
cool.
guy lived in the community area,
Okay.
so we chose to release him.
Right.
We get him up to station, we're processing him, and we're like, buddy, why were you running around?
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm not telling you. So he's like really being cocky to us, like very arrogant, wouldn't talk to us, wouldn't say anything. His phone kept going off.
Yeah.
And we're like, I mean, his phone kept ringing the whole time we were there. And we were like trying to be nice to him. We're like, buddy, what are you running from? Why
Yeah.
were you running through people's yards? What? And he would not tell us not.
Yeah.
He would not tell us. He would just keep quiet. And I'm like, buddy, if you're in trouble, you're in some kind of, let us know. And he would not tell me. He was actually very mean to us. Like, he was like, F you cops. I'm not telling you anything. So anyway, we chose to release him. And I said to him, where do you want to go? He goes, would you drive me to my brother's house? And I'm like, sure. He goes, my brother will. We always try to release him to somebody.
Yeah.
Especially if they're drunk or something. This
Yeah.
guy wasn't, but we try to release him. So he goes, will you drop me off at my brother's house? I'm like, sure. So it's like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I throw him in the back of my car. He starts calming down. We're having like a legitimate conversation on the way. And he's like,
not so dicky.
he's not so, being
Yeah.
a D-bag to me for no reason.
Yeah.
And we're driving him down there. And he actually says to me, hey, he goes, could you do me a favor? And I'm like, sure. He goes, don't drop me off right in front of my brother's house so the neighbors see me getting dropped off by the police. And I'm like, hey, I got you. You know, I said, no problem. So
Yeah.
I said, he goes, drop me off about a block away from my brother's house. And I'm like, okay. So I drop him off. And I just want you to know, police work, you have to radio when you have somebody in your car.
Yeah.
So like I'm going to say, you know, hey, this is Danny, you know, my badge number, you know, 13, badge number 13. I'll be transporting one white male. I'm taking him, my mileage is, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because you give the mileage so they don't say you stopped and beat them up or this and that. So you have to give them, or if you have transporting a girl, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're giving them mileage so they can, you know, your route.
Yeah.
Understandable? So anyway, I see the ADHD kicked in and I had to tell you that. So anyway, the next day, I worked night shift. I went home at 8 o'clock in the morning. Next day, my phone's ringing like at noon. And they're like, hey. And I'm like, what's up? They go, you didn't murder that guy last night. I said, what are you talking about? They're like, they found that guy dead that you dropped off. I'm like, what? And listen, here's the best part. Dave, remember Dave, my buddy Dave, he's a big content creator. Dave had a major argument with the guy that night. Like the guy was making fun out of Dave. Dave was going back at him. They had this big argument.
Wait a second.
Go ahead.
So hold on. How was Dave there? How did Dave know him?
Dave didn't know him. We arrested him, but he was picking on Dave when we were there.
Oh,
so he was calling,
okay.
he was calling him fat. He was calling him this. He was calling him that. He was making fun at him. And actually, at one point, I told Dave to go.
Yeah.
Because Dave was interrupting the arrest. The guy and him just didn't get along.
Yeah.
You know, so they were interrupting the arrest. So I'll be honest with you. When they told me that, I'm thinking, well, Dave didn't kill this guy. like Dave backtracked after I dropped him off. You know what I mean? I was like, what the heck? So I'm like, where'd they find this guy? They're like, they found him in a field, and they found him. I swear to God. You know them like toolboxes in the back of a truck? They stuffed him in that and threw him in the woods. I swear to God. And they found this guy. Some guy was hiking with his dog and found him in this thing.
I've already put the story together in my head, and you know what I think happened?
What?
Obviously, it's a mafia hit. They saw you dropping him off. They had to get rid of him.
Right.
They got rid of him anyway because they were getting rid of him because he's running from something anyway. And then they saw you drop him off and they got rid of him and put him in a toolbox. So you really drove someone to their death.
To their murder. I kid you not. He actually gave me chills the next day because, you know, I'm looking through I always
Did
picture...
anyone question you? To the authorities that all questioned
No, they knew these guys killed him right away.
Yeah.
There was no questions. They were drug dealers. So it wasn't a mafia hit. It was actually a drug dealer.
Okay.
He was a dealer for them. He owed them money. He ripped them off. And 3 people, two of them and a girl too. 2 guys and a girl were charged with his murder. They beat him to death and shot him.
That's crazy.
And listen, this is what I heard. I heard when I dropped him off, they called him. And he finally answered the phone. And he said, I was in police custody, blah, 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 blah. And they told him, let's meet here. And when he met there, they killed him.
Oh,
it was a total friggin' setup. Yeah, honestly, God, I drove a guy to his death.
That's so sad.
It's insane. I mean, I still get chills. Dawn, as we're talking here, I could still picture his face. Like, I remember looking through my rearview mirror when he was in the back of the police car, and I could still picture his face. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I drove a guy to his death.
That's an amazing story. We've had so many of these conversations, but do you still believe this, Danny, now that time goes on and life goes on, this world's going in this crazy direction, do you still believe it's kind of all like what you surround yourself with, what you're raised with? Like, you're either going to have a good life or you're going to end up either like dead in jail, right? Like these people, okay.
I'm going to tell you this. Me and my daughter had a talk about this last night. Her birthday, she's 27. As soon as it turned midnight, I text her, hey, happy birthday, love you, blah, 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 blah. And she was out with her friends singing karaoke or something last night. So she texted me back and she said, Dad, I want to thank you and Mom. You guys were great parents. She goes, most people don't have good parents. And I've learned this. She works with foster kids now, foster parents. And
so she sees
she said, and I said, Jocelyn, I don't agree with Democrats a lot, but I do agree with Democrats. We don't all start on the same starting line.
No,
we don't.
We do not.
We do not start on the same starting line. Listen, I wasn't born into money at all. My parents were middle class, but I'll tell you what, I had great parents. I had a great life.
Yeah.
So they gave me a shot to be successful.
Yeah.
Some of these kids don't. So I definitely agree with the liberals on that. We don't start on the same line. We don't.
And listen, my message to you guys, audience, no matter where you start, and I'm an advocate for this because I work with a lot of young people with modeling and acting, TV, commercial, and film. no matter where you're starting, it's never too late to change what you've got going on. Just because you were raised in a certain way or in a certain environment or a certain place, and you think that's just the way it is, or this is my, you know, generational standard for us, you can always become something so different. And I tell this to all my young people, and I watch it happen every day. And I tell these kids, there's proof there. If you don't want to be just like your mother or father, or you want to be just like your mother, whatever it is you want to do, and you were raised by grandma, whatever your situation is, you can change. You can make things different. You don't have to take the same paths. Or you get some of those people that have amazing upbringings on paper, and the family's great, and there's a loving home, and blah, 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 and the kid still ends up, whatever reason they end
The
up.
Murdoch family.
The Murdoch family.
Look at that. That rich as hell.
Yep.
The whole family rich as hell. Money throughout the years. He's in jail.
Let me stop you. Money has absolutely nothing to do with somebody's. It has nothing to do with, because I know a lot of people with a lot of money, and honestly, sometimes you have more problems when you have money.
Yep.
Like, I believe that. You have more problems when you have money. Don't get me wrong. I guess being broke isn't like a great place to be, and it will lead people to like steal things and thefts and jail and that whole cycle. But more money is more problem. I think, didn't Biggie say that?
Yes.
More money, more
And you know what?
problems.
People can change their life. I'm going to tell you who I'm impressed with. Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson was a horrible person. I wanted to see him lose every time I watched him fight. He was an angry, mean person. He was charged with rape, went to jail for rape, this and that. It was
when
a
you
horrible
said that,
person.
all I can think of, I was like, Mike Tyson, rapist. Right.
But if you see him now,
I know him.
he's now trying to tell the community how wrong he was. He's trying to be a better person. Like when I see Mike Tyson now, younger people should listen to him. He's trying to tell you about his mistakes. So I think of Mike Tyson, and the man changed his life.
Absolutely.
And I watched another documentary the other night on George Foreman.
Yeah.
George Foreman, when he was younger, he was poor. So he had this attitude. He beat everybody up. He was mean. He was this and that. And then he found Jesus.
Yeah.
And, you know, somebody needs something to bring them in. And when he found Jesus, turned his whole life around. He was not angry anymore. He was not mean anymore. And he ends up winning the heavyweight title at like 45 years old, which was unfathomable. So you can change your life.
Absolutely, 100%. And I like what you said there. And I know last week we spoke a little bit about God, and we questioned things and whatever. And you know me, I'm my firm believer. I'm in church every single Sunday. I know some people look at that know me from 10, 15 years ago, and they're like, she's so full of shit right now. I'm not. I'm at church every single Sunday morning.
Wow.
But people 10 years ago would be like, not that girl. There's something different. You know, it's still me. Oh.
What? What's that? Oh!
Anyway, yes, I go to church. Our production manager just told me so. Yes, I go to church every Sunday. Anyway, guys, if you're not going to have faith in God or whatever, just have faith in something. And if that means yourself, go do that. And if you have to change your life, go ahead. Whether that means coming off drugs or alcohol, or whether that means getting out of that abusive relationship, or that means changing your occupation or going back to school or leaving school to get it, whatever it means for you, you can change. You are not a tree. You are not planted. You are not rooted. You can get up and leave at any time. And if you need to get up and leave out of your life and you can't, call me. There's always a way, but if you can't, hit me up on Instagram. I'll help you get out of whatever you need to get out of, and I promise you that. Okay. All right. The story. Our production manager is like, okay.
Do we have enough time? I want to add one thing. Just one thing.
Yeah.
Okay, just one thing.
You're ignoring her. She said, do we have enough time? She's telling you. We're both looking at
I
each
saw her
other.
with the thing.
Okay.
If I would say to young people,
Yeah.
consistency is the biggest thing.
Yes.
You got to be consistent. And listen, it took me 50 years to do this, because I would get down to things wouldn't work, and I'd be like, screw it. And I would get mad and say, I'm not going to do it anymore. I put out 7 TikToks yesterday. None of them went. Nothing went. I fail all the time. But you know what? I'm consistent. And you got to be consistent. You're going to fail 85% of the time. It's the 15% of the time. And it took me 50 years to get here. So make sure, don't get disgusted. Just be consistent. You're consistent. You're going to succeed.
One more thing, too. A friend of mine said something, well, you throw a lemon at Dawn, she'll just build a lemon empire.
Right.
Think like that.
Yeah.
Okay? When you catch a lemon, turn it into something good. When someone hurts your feelings, turn it into something good. When something bad happens to you, turn it into something good. You lost some money, make more. Nothing's impossible. Okay.
All right, good. We gave the motivation. I feel good now.
Ooh.
I feel good.
I don't know about y'all, but I feel good.
I'm going to,
It's a good song.
Listen, you guys going to do the Stratosphere walk with me this year? All of us.
Wait, walking?
I did the Stratosphere last year.
Oh, is it a walk like...
You walk up the steps all the way to the top. It's 104 floors. I did it. I got a medal. I did it last year.
I got a medal. Fun fact about Dawn Sullivan. I am deathly afraid of heights. Only my students know that about me. I don't do heights.
Well,
Can I see outside?
No, you're in the tower.
Hell yeah.
You're in the tower.
On a physical fitness level?
Yes.
I'll throw on some sneakers and get it done. Yes, but I thought I can see outside. So I don't know how high up I'm going, right?
No.
I'll do it.
Well, you can look, the stratosphere.
Yeah, but I can't, it's not glass.
No.
Okay, then I'm fine.
Listen, it's 104 floors, okay? So I decided to do this. Take a guess how long it took me to do it. I walked 104 floors.
I don't even know.
I shocked myself. And I thought I did good, and I didn't do good.
How long would that take? I'm trying to think of the step master at the gym. How long is that? I'm like an hour, and I get to 50-something floor. So what did it take you, 3 hours?
It took me 24 minutes.
He's full of shit.
It took me 24
You
minutes.
are full of shit.
24 minutes. I'll bring it up. It's online. I took
24 minutes?
And I came in 400 place.
And got a medal.
I came in 400 place. Somebody did it in like 7 minutes. They sprint up the steps? Don, honest to God, I don't know how somebody could have done this in 7 minutes.
This is why I'm picturing myself in like hour 2, Danny. This is taking...
Listen,
are you serious?
Don, I started oh shit.
Is that real? We have 2 minutes. No, is that real, Danny?
Don, listen, I'm walking up this, I start doing this, right? And I did an incline, same kind of thing in Colorado. So I'm used to this, right? So I'm doing the stratosphere, and I'll be honest with you, halfway up, I tried not to look at the floors because they had the floors numbered. Yeah. So every time you could, so I kept my head down because I didn't want to mentally get.
That's what I did.
So I kept my head down, right? And I'm walking, and I'm like, somebody's passing me, and I said to them, they're like, hey, keep going. I said, yeah, we've got to be at about 40th floor now. He's like, no, you're at 17. I'm like, oh, God.
I would do the same thing. There's no way I could look at the number. That's like with time and stuff. I can't watch time if you know what I'm saying? Like I can't.
So my calves were like so hurting. I mean, your calves, that was the big thing. Your pain from your calves. So some lady passed me, and she goes, do it flat-footed. And when she told me to flat-foot, it helped me.
Yeah.
I flat-footed the rest of the way, and I did it in 24 minutes.
I am down. When are we doing this? When is this?
Yeah, I think it's in February. I think it's January or February.
I thought it was like coming.
No, it's in February.
Where the hell does random thought come from? I thought it was like something I was telling
Listen, you don't know. I mean, it just comes up. It just comes up.
So when it comes up, let me know. I'm walking up the stratosphere with you. I'm down. I just can't do things that like I can look over. That gets like, woo.
Actually, it's a great accomplishment. Like, I got to the top, I was like, yes!
And a medal.
And he put the medal right on. Yeah.
Can you wear your medal next week?
I'm wearing.
Hell yeah.
My participation trophy.
I want one of those.
My 400 place, baby!
No, now that I know you did it in 24, I'm competitive. I'll be like, all right, I gotta get this done in 23.
We're gonna talk about 4 missing fingers when we get back.
4 missing. That's really messed up. He's like 4 missing fingers.
And we'll bring Jason on.
Someone really has missing fingers?
Yeah.
Shit.
Hello, everyone. This is Joseph Skoda with Social Media Shows. Well, I thank all of you for your support through these last several years, and it's been a lot of fun. We've given people a voice they never had before. Now, Social Media Shows is always collaborating with our veterans to help them do things and help out the veterans who are struggling today. And we teamed up with GI Connections. GI Connections, connecting veterans with resources. So please consider helping and donating to this great cause because we're always doing things for veterans. So GI Connections, Social Media Shows, and you is what makes the world a better place. Once again, Joseph Skoda, proud United States Air Force veteran.
Got Films is a full-service production company that provides motion picture quality content and production services for use in the film and TV industry. Looking for a seasoned crew, high-quality equipment, or other production services for your film, TV, commercial, corporate convention, sports, news, or interview project? Your search stops here. Some of our projects include NASCAR, American Restoration, Pawn Stars, Counting Cars, Top Chef, BattleBots, Forge and Fire, and Street Outlaws. We have also produced over 60 feature films and documentaries. We're ready for all your needs. Whatever your project, whatever your budget, big or small, Got Films got you. GotFilms.com.
The year is 2980, and we now know that death is not the end. A soul can be extracted from the recently deceased and be used to create a blue liquid called essence. It can bring a person back to life.
We'll get her back.
I hope so.
It's an expensive process used by the rich and powerful. The rest, they do what they can to survive.
Stay right there.
You told me you're hiding from some dangerous people.
Let's knock on the door. I spent the last year searching for the Deep Star. A bounty so big that the entire galaxy could be yours.
People have been looking for the Deep Star for years. It can't be found.
It's because they can't find the distress beacon. I know where it is. If we find the Deep Star, we could get enough credits to bring Mom back.
Blast off.
Guys, we have company.
You can run, but you cannot hide. Prepare for impact.
I am now authorized to take action.
And now you die.
No!
Welcome back, guys. Vegas Views, Dawn Sullivan, Danny Miner. We have Jason with us. I just have to say one thing really quick. This has been a chaotic, crazy show. But in our studio, we have our production manager who runs everything. And then there's a television to the right of us. And we can actually see the television and what we look like. And, you know, we don't really get feedback, but we're on like a 3-second delay just in case something happens or something really bad happens. See? And we're on commercial break. And Danny goes, look. He says it just like this. Oh my God, guys, look. I look like the Kentucky Fried Chicken guy because he was saying his
I'm Colonel Sanders.
Right? He does not look like Colonel Sanders, but I thought that was hysterical. That is so funny to me. You don't look like. I mean, I'll be honest with you, Jason. Isn't it more gray on the television than it is in person?
The lighting there is really something. They say the camera adds 10 pounds.
It does.
In any case, it adds a couple pounds in about 12 shades of gray.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
it's
but it
the
does
camera,
add 10
yeah.
pounds. I know that because I'm skinnier than this. I'm much thinner than this.
I'll take it.
Don't
I'll
take
take
it.
10, 15
Don, here's
extra.
the thing. Like, I look at that picture. See, I have myself in a different view. I don't see myself as an old man, right? In my head, I'm not an old man. But if I saw that guy, I would say, look at this old man. That's what I would say. Yeah,
No,
I
you don't look like an
I
old
look
man.
like Colonel Sanders
You
there.
don't act-
Colonel Sanders with a shark hat.
No, you don't. No.
Sort of a Gandalf with a trim
Yeah.
kind of a thing.
Do you know what
No.
this is? This is Any Given Sunday. You see the movie Any Given
Is that the one?
That's what it is.
Okay, all right.
I found this
was wondering
place in
where
the
that-
outlets that sells great hats. I got to get
What
them to
outlets? Do you
sponsor.
go north or south?
The one by South Point. The outlets by
South. I like that's
Yeah.
the one I go to.
They have
I
a
like the
store where
South
all
better
these
than the
crazy.
North.
They're expensive.
Yeah.
These hats are like $35, but I love it there.
Okay, the whole Willie Beam and
Yeah.
thing.
All right, what are we talking about? Oh,
Yeah.
the Four Horsemen.
That's all right. There you go. There you go.
That was Notre Dame. Remember that? The Four Horsemen. You don't
Yeah.
remember that?
I know what that is.
All right.
Yeah. But
Okay.
I like the way you say Notre Dame. You say
Notre
it right.
Dame.
Because people here would say
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame,
Right.
and we say Notre Dame.
Notre
we
Dame.
say it right.
See now, and you got to quit that. I have an AD. I have a Notre Dame story, but I'm going to get away
Okay,
from it. We got to
okay.
talk about the fingers. Maria's going to
Oh,
kill us.
wait, one thing I know. No, I know.
But
One
wait.
more thing. I really want to go onto the guy running around in the JCPenney, though, after. Remind me of that. The naked guy. You made a story of it.
Did I?
The naked guy. Maybe they took it down. He's nude running through the JCPenney and all the guy. If you,
Oh, yes, I did do
Okay.
that. Yes, I did. See, I got AD. I don't remember it.
yeah, the naked guy on the JCPenney. Okay, go on.
Just call me Colonel. You should start nicknaming me Colonel Sanders. I might change my TikTok to Colonel Sanders. All right, guys, I'm at Lake Mead this week, right? I'm going to tell you about a warrior. This guy was a warrior. I'm telling you, a warrior. Long story, I'm not going to tell you the whole story. This guy's on this boat.
Yeah.
His buddy's driving, and he's driving real fast.
Yeah.
And he shouldn't be driving fast.
Yeah.
And I just happen to be at the lake. I'm watching the lake, and I see he made all these waves.
Yeah.
So he tries to pull into the dock with his boat, and his buddy has his hands outside the boat. When he goes to pull into the dock, the waves push him like really hard against the dock. The guy's fingers get caught between the dock and the boat, and it cuts his fingers.
Ugh. so gross. Maria, you're sick in the head.
Listen.
The production manager thinks this is the funniest thing that has ever happened. I'm so sorry, missing finger guy, but she thinks it's hysterical. It is so sad. Did you gag?
So I seen it happen, but it was far away from me, so I didn't know he got his fingers cut. I just thought they hit the dock. I didn't think anybody was hurt. I see this couple walking towards me, and I'm just sitting there, and they're like, "Hey, do you have a phone? Could you call an ambulance for my husband?"
Yeah.
And I had my phone in my hand. I'm like, "Sure, is something wrong? Are you okay?" And the guy goes, "Yeah, I just cut my fingers off." I said, "What?"
I'm not laughing at the finger
He
guy.
goes to me.
Matter of fact,
he's like, yeah, I cut my fingers off. Yep, got him. Like, nothing was wrong. I'm like, and then I look down and he has a towel over his hand. Okay, so he has a towel over his hand. And I look at him, and I was a cop before, so I know we need to get these fingers into ice. So I said to him, "Where is your fingers?" And he opens his other hand and goes, "I got him right here."
You saw
and
his fingers?
His fingers were across his other hand. So we stick them in ice.
So they didn't fall in the boat, fall into the water.
No, they must have fell in the dock. I don't know how he got his fingers back unless they were floating in the water.
I think they were fish food.
And he picked them out of the water. But anyway, so listen, this is not made up. This is my life. I told you, it's crazy. But anyway, so I said to his wife, "Do you have ice?" She goes, "I have a cooler." So we go to his car, we get a cooler, we put his ice. So then I start looking at him thinking, I'm going to have to put a tourniquet on this guy, right? And I look at the towel, and there's no blood through the towel. So it's not soaking through, so he stopped the bleeding. So if you take the towel off, you can reopen the wound. So once you put a dressing on, you should never take it off. Because you could reopen the wound.
Guys, listen to that.
Yeah.
If something happens, you put a dressing on, don't take it off.
Yeah, because you'll reopen the wound. So I left this thing on. I called, and the dispatch is like, "He got his fingers cut off." I'm like, they're like, "Is he okay?" I'm like, believe it or not, he's okay. The guy was like a warrior. The guy was like, "What are you gonna do?" And I'm like, "Do you want to sit down?" He's like, "No, I'm good." I'm like, "Do you want me to get you water?"
Was he like an older man?
40s.
So he was in his 40s
Yeah.
on his boat, just chilling.
And his wife was kind of calm. His wife was like, "Yeah, he cut his fingers off." I'm like, my fingers are gone!
Did you share your edibles with them before? No?
Huh?
Did you share your edibles with them before?
He definitely needed edibles.
Yeah.
He definitely. I think I went home that night and took 200 milligrams. I was fine.
For him.
So was it his right or his left?
I think it was his left.
Left hand,
I
okay.
think so, yeah.
So, all right, if he's right-handed, then okay.
Yeah.
We can, all right, live with that.
That's a crazy story, though. But you actually saw the fingers?
Yeah.
Do they have like roots and stuff?
I made his wife pick them up and put them in a cooler. I didn't like pick them up.
Yeah, because that's his blood, and that's gross. You can get germs that way. So thank God you didn't do that.
I did, and you know what? We're getting to the story. You'll like this story. I just did a video before I came here on when I was a cop and I went to bad scenes like that. And I asked the psychiatrist on there why I did this, but I'd come home and wash my hands 25 times. I'd wash my clothes.
Do you know why you did that?
No, I just did a video. I asked everybody why. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I forget you have a degree in everything. I'm like the only dummy on this show.
You are not a dummy. I don't have a degree in everything. 2 degrees. Okay. So first and foremost, the consistent washing and washing and washing, you're trying to get it out of you somehow. So out of your minds, out of your hands. It's the same thing with people that have extremely clean homes or something's extremely clean or extremely tidy. You're trying to control everything because you're trying to organize up here. So it's very simple. Someone that washes and cleans a lot, if you don't have OCD, it's to try to get it away. You see someone that does like redoes their laundry and stuff like that. Like, would you redo your laundry?
I would keep washing my clothes.
Yeah,
like I felt like there was dirt on my clothes.
Yeah.
I felt there was like, and it wasn't just like being a cop. You go into a lot of dirty homes.
Yeah.
I
You're
mean,
just
a
trying
lot
to get
of
it
dirty
out of your
homes.
head.
But I mean, even just like a bad incident where there was a dead body or anything. First of all, if you ever smell the smell of death,
yeah.
Did you ever smell it?
I couldn't even imagine. No.
You will never forget that smell the rest of your life.
Absolutely.
It's the worst
100%.
smell ever. And you know it. Like, I knew somebody was dead before I even opened the door.
Yeah.
You know it. You know it. I mean, and you'll never forget that smell ever.
Yeah.
So I'm really talking about some really nice things. Fingers gone, people dead.
Yeah.
You know, what else can we talk
I'm
about?
thinking, too, from a psychological standpoint, I'm like, damn, he went through all this, and I've been through my own war in just life, because I know what a dead body smells like, and like 9/11, I couldn't get that smell. Like, I felt off my skin for literally years. Like,
you feel
it. You feel it. You know, and you smell, and that smell in New York City at the time, you never went, thank God. You never went. You were supposed to go.
Yeah.
You never went, thank God,
Yeah.
because a lot of people died of cancer
Yeah.
that did that cleanup. So I'm so grateful when I heard that you never went. I loved that. I said, good. But yeah, that smell after 9/11, just in the air for a long time, it just smelled like dead people. And it smelled like flesh. You can smell flesh and hair. And you know that smell I'm talking about?
Yeah.
When someone's just, So I know that smell very much, very well. Look.
All right, we gotta get Jason involved in this. So we gotta talk.
I've still got my
Jason,
fingers.
dead bodies, limbs. What do you got for us?
I haven't.
Do you ever
tried
smell
anything
death?
off. No. I
You never smelled death?
well, not significantly. Not beyond.
You should try it. They sell candles.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah.
The death candle. Let's smell a dead body.
Exactly. No.
Oh my God, I already have like a merchandise idea for us. I just have this merch idea.
You know, I'm crazy. Just so you saw me.
Oh my
I'm
God,
definitely
I know.
crazy. All right, I'm going to get his point of view because he is the skeptic, and I know you're a skeptic too. You just like to play along with me. I know he's all. I think Maria's probably a skeptic too. I watched a documentary this week on UFOs. I was going to send it to you. I was going to send it to you.
Yeah.
This man was probably my age or maybe older, okay, maybe 60s, you know, and they took him back to South Dakota where we throw our nuclear bombs off, right?
Yeah.
He went back there and he said back in the 80s, he was there. And he said, if you see this location where the nuclear bombs go off, there's nothing around it. It's just this little building and miles of nothing.
Yep.
Woods,
Yeah.
okay? He said he's there, and he says he goes out the building to have a cigarette, and there's a glowing orb above the thing. Okay? Okay, I'm not kidding you. He said it was huge, and actually shut their weapons off, and they had 2 guys testify to this. They shut their weapons off. Now, wait to hear this. This guy starts physically crying when he gets back to the scene because it's so emotional for him. And then they put him under hypnosis, and he was abducted. That's what they're saying. I'm just telling you what they said. And this guy physically cried during the documentary because he said it physically got him emotional to come back to that scene.
Okay.
Now, I know you guys think that's nuts.
Jason, what do you make of that? I just have to hear you. What do you make of that?
It's fascinating. Sure. Okay.
Why would a military guy say this, though? Like, why? Like, I know for a fact, especially being in this entertainment business, you don't get paid for documentaries. You get nothing.
Right.
Unless they use one of your videos or something like that. You don't get paid for document. So why would he say this? Why would he embarrass himself? That's my thing. Why?
For one, he believes in his experience. So by all means, he's going to want to tell people about that.
Right.
If and I've seen lights. I've had experiences like that from the time I was a kid. My best friend back in Colorado just can't stand that I don't embrace what the lights we saw out in the field, not too far from a missile silo.
Okay. Well, they just saw Bigfoot in Colorado. Did you see that?
No, I hadn't seen that one. We'll come back
My
around
mom
to
saw
that.
Bigfoot. We talked about it.
He was waiting
Harry
to
and
catch
the
a ride
Hendersons.
on that ship, right? Okay.
Yeah.
But
Harry and the Hendersons.
so, okay,
Sorry.
he believed in what his experience was to the best that he could process it, all right? A glowing something up in the sky,
Yeah.
100%. They're up there all the time.
Yeah.
First question is, what's more likely? The government screwing around with something up there and trying this out and testing that out, particularly...
See, I could jump on that. I agree with that. It could be the government. I'm with you on that.
Technology
It could be
that
yeah.
disrupts their other technology, disrupts operation. That's a big tactic is how do you shut down EMPs and things like that? How do you shut down a person's communications, a country's, operations and
absolutely.
stuff? So trying that stuff out all the time. Is that more likely? Or what it takes to actually construct an explanation based on extraterrestrial life and doing that traveling over. Now, first, let me just say,
Go ahead.
I do believe there absolutely has to be life out there.
Yay!
There is living material throughout the universe.
Yeah.
What it's constituted of, how long it's been there, how long it's come and gone since then, in the billions and billions of years of the universe, we don't know. What kind of life that is, we don't know that either. Odds are it's stuff, it's goo, it's things scurrying around. Now, whether that's evolved or not, okay. But to go from there all the way to being able to construct and build and travel the galaxy in a craft, knowing to find out that we're here, to look hundreds of millions of years through space to see us at any point in time, and then make it all the way over
But
to
they
stop
did.
by and not to wave and say hello.
They didn't do that.
But to not be seen, not be heard, not make themselves known, and then disappear again.
It's different dimensions. I'm convinced it is.
Yes, I love that. What was that guy's name that was on there? Tom something or other?
DeLonge.
Tom DeLonge.
From Blink 182. He is totally into this.
No, okay, that was one. But the guy doing the video, the TikTok or the videos that you sent me.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, whatever that
Okay.
that scientific expert. All right, well, I'll call him out later. All right, yeah, I'll find that name again because.
Do you know how popular this is, though, Don? It's popular right now. This guy.
It's so easy
this
to
guy,
imagine.
I was showing him this guy on TikTok. He does UFO videos. That's all he does is UFO, Bigfoot stuff, ghost stuff. He posted the other day how much he makes a month, right? And here's the thing. You're not allowed to do that.
Yeah.
TikTok could
Yeah.
I don't
You're not
know
allowed.
why he did that because you're not allowed to tell anybody how much money you're making. You're not allowed to show it. TikTok, it's in their rules.
Yeah.
The guy was making $10,000 a month posting UFO videos. He's making $10,000 a month posting UFO and Bigfoot.
People are very interested.
Yes.
And showing those numbers
think-
and how much he makes, I
Yeah.
think it's his attempt to make himself feel more credible with all the nonsense. that
Yeah.
he's coming
Oh, that's
up
true.
with. Yeah.
And
That's
I
true.
also think that people want to believe in something outside of whatever. I think there's a desire psychologically for people to believe in something other than what's
Would you
here.
two
That's
do-
exactly what I said before. Was we're searching for meaning, a grander purpose, a greater explanation
Sure.
for what there is, other than it just is.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're looking for that.
I want you two to do me a favor. Do me a favor, okay? Just do this. Just do this for me.
Okay.
Watch the movie Fire in the Sky.
Fire in the Sky. Oh my god.
Watch that movie. And there's a documentary on Discovery on it too. This guy was abducted in Arizona. You watch that and you tell me how these 5 guys made this story up. And it's been going on for 30 years. They made this story up. They kept this live for 30
I'm
years.
going to make it a point to watch that. Like as
You
sooner
won't.
than later. I promise you, I'm going to watch it.
I know he
Now
won't.
that has been
I will watch that.
and that's a legitimate
Yes, I
one.
will.
That's a serious one.
That
It's
is.
been
I
one
wanna
of
watch
the
it.
only nearly legitimate go-tos in the
Thank
entire
you.
argument.
Yes.
There's nothing further. There's nothing.
Jason,
additional.
is it
We've
going to
asked
have my
about where
mind
is the rest of
going?
the
Is it going to
evidence.
have my mind going?
It will.
Okay.
It will ask those questions, and it will.
And
raise
I'm going
those
to tell you if you guys didn't see it, and the documentary is very good too. It's on Discovery. But just to give you an example, what happened, and I'm not going to tell you the whole story, but these 5 guys in the 70s, they're out logging up in the Arizona mountains. That's what they did. They cut trees down. They logged. That's what they do, right? They're up in the Arizona mountains, and it's like a very small community like called Snowflake. Snowflake, Arizona. 3,000 people live in this whole town of Snowflake, Arizona. They're up logging, this and that, and they're buddies. They're like brother-in-laws, friends that are all working for this company. On their way back, they're driving back in their truck like they always do, going home. They see a light in the woods. And they're like, wonder what that is. So they go over to see what it is. When they get there, they say this craft is hovering. The one guy gets out of the craft, and they're all yelling. His name is Travis. They're like, Travis, get back in the car. The thing zaps him. When it zaps him, they all leave him. When they come back, he's gone. He's missing for like 4 days. They almost charged these guys with murder. These guys go back, tell the police what happened. The police don't believe them. They almost charge them with murder. They made them take lie detector tests. They passed all the lie detector tests. He comes back 4 days later. They drop him off in a telephone booth nude. And he calls them from a telephone booth and they come get him. This made national news back in the 70s.
And Travis has a story. Does he remember what happened?
He remembers everything. Yeah, the documentary, and they interview all the 5 guys that watched him be abducted. Like, there was witnesses of this. I'm not kidding you. Watch the
Was
show.
Travis okay?
And it's not a B movie. It's not like something on Tubi or it's not B. This is a good movie.
Was he okay?
Huh?
Was Travis okay?
No, he went through psychological damage, this and that. He was dehydrated, they said, stuff like that. They took him to a doctor and stuff like that. And he tells the story of what happened in that craft, okay, which is kind of scary. You know what I mean?
I don't remember. Were there physical signs on him when they examined him?
I don't
after that?
remember. To tell you the truth, I don't.
I don't remember that.
I don't
so,
either.
yeah.
I don't remember either. But honestly, that's one of my go-to stories because I believe this guy. I mean, you gotta watch this. You gotta watch this. It's one of
enough about it that is accounted for.
that is
in the
that
story.
that ranks right up with Roswell. Like that is right.
Yeah, that's why I said.
I actually think
one of
it's
the
more than
influencing
Roswell.
Stories.
Yeah.
That actually has some meat to it.
Yes.
And it does hold up to a point.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
can I say that that's not true? No, you absolutely rationally cannot say that's not true.
Watch it.
There's not. So it
And the
has to be
documentary
accounted
is even
for.
better. The
I have a
docu-
quick question on the dimensions, though. Can you just explain them to me just a little bit more on the dimensions, though? So, if the dimension, because the dimension thing will make sense to me. What you said that it's all happening, but what about people that have passed? So, if someone's dead, us three are in this dimension right now. Where are the dead people?
Listen, I'm not sure, but I'm going to send you both something. I swear, I'm going to send Maria. I don't even want to tell you guys this because you guys think I'm crazy.
No, this is fun. We love this
Danny,
stuff.
I believe more. Is that the 2 minutes?
No, we need more time.
Oh, God.
15 minutes.
I am going to the French.
Well,
restaurant.
Halloween is coming up. Halloween is coming up. What about, doing something really all about
Yes.
weird
And maybe
the-
bring some
the-
guests on
the
and do all
supernatural,
crazy
the
stuff.
Inexplicable.
We
you
should.
know.
Like I'll start posting anybody want to come on our show that's like paranormal or psychic, maybe a psychic or something like that.
Something cool happened to me. Can I share something
Go ahead.
really cool? And I forgot to tell you guys. So I went to the Pink concert. Everybody knows I went to the Pink concert. Love Pink. Okay. I go to the Pink concert. Now I'm going to back up for a little bit. I know how you say I don't believe in a lot of stuff, whatever, but I tell you I believe in ghosts. I believe in angels. I believe in an upper, and God, of course. So I'm at the Pink concert, and before my mom died, her ringtone on her phone was fucking perfect. You know that song by Pink? Not less than perfect, whatever.
Yeah.
So that song comes on, this and that. I'm like, oh, that's fucking awesome, blah, 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 blah. I kid you not, and I didn't bring it, but I'll bring it next week. Some lady, maybe in her mid-50s, walks up to me. She's sitting in my section. I had pretty good seats up there, so we're pretty close. And she grabs my hands like this. My hands are freezing. And she puts this bracelet on me, and she goes like that. And I'm like, first, I'll be honest with you. I don't like people touching me. I'm a germaphobe. I'm weird unless, I know you. Oh, do I touch you?
And you're a New Yorker.
And I'm a New Yorker. I don't like people fucking touching
And
me.
they're rude, New Yorkers.
I'm so
That was
not
so
rude.
unnecessary.
So, okay, no, I'm a little fucking rude.
We are rude.
So, no, we're so
Yes,
rude. But
these
not to
places
each
are
other.
rude,
I respect
right.
people I love. The rest
Rude.
of them, you're on your own, right? So I look down, and it's a handmade, like a kid-made pink bracelet. And then I was like, oh, that's kind of cute or whatever. And then the lights had come on for another thing she was doing, and I looked, and it says fucking perfect.
Wow.
So it hit me for a second, and I said, oh. This lady walks up to me and she just puts this on my wrist. I'm like, oh, thank you. Meanwhile, I'm like, bitch, don't touch me. And then I'm like, and I looked and I said, oh, okay. And I know exactly what that was. So she puts that on me, and that to me. That was my mother saying hello to me.
I had a neat little
And
coincidental
wait one
little
second. I have
sign
like
like that.
100,000 of those stories since my parents died. But anyway, tell me. What were you
Well,
saying?
this is a little bit of a story. I'm not sure how much time we've got
Wait a
left
minute,
there.
it's just
But it's
we always go over.
the time when I had to get my passport. That whole thing was an incredible mess. I didn't realize I was going to need one to go to Canada. I just came back from that this week.
Yeah.
And so last minute, I found out that within a 14-day window, if you have emergency travel needs,
Yes.
you can go to one of only 5 or 6 passport offices in the country. You got to physically go to a passport office, and they can get you one right away within a 14-day travel period. So it just happened that I was still in Colorado, and one of the only passport office in 1,000 miles was right there in Denver. So anyway, so when I was leaving and moving out of Colorado, I had one shot, one appointment on that Monday to go into the passport office and get this done. So extraordinary, it worked. Within 4 hours, I walked in and I got my passport renewed. Right. So done like that. Well, somehow in that process, when I come out of the office before I pick it up, I put my folder on the hood of my car. Folder that I had kept all of my documents.
And you pull out
all sorts of paperwork, a repository for all sorts of insurance information, so this and other. And at the moment, I had my birth certificate, my social security card, and another envelope in that. So all the important stuff. Set that on the hood of my car, and I take off. I get around 2 hours later, and I realize, oh my God, it's not.
Don't tell me it's still on the hood of your car.
It made it onto the hood of the car as I came out of the parking lot and down a side street until I picked up speed to get onto an on-ramp. And that's where I circled my way back, around and around searching, and I found it in the middle of a median right before an on-ramp to the highway.
Oh my
Wow,
God.
That's insane.
I looked and I was so excited that I actually managed to pull this off and track this. I was taking a picture as I'm walking in the middle of traffic, seeing that, and I get to it. Empty. Completely gutted. Every pocket, every folder, every slot.
Oh my God, I didn't expect that.
It didn't fly out. It didn't fall out. It was literally, well, right nearby that area. That's an overpass and an on-ramp. Okay, little homeless camp.
Okay. They're burning it for heat.
And looking for money, for credit cards, for everything like that. That's the kind. It was a zipper folder.
But what scares me the most is there's your entire identity.
Exactly.
Everything.
The perfect combination.
Yeah.
Birth certificate, social security card. That is my identity, and now it's. So I can't live with this. I'm just freaking out. I'm on hold with the cops, about to report that my identity's been stolen.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm just tired of waiting. I keep looking. I keep thinking. I keep retracing and backtracking. As I keep looking back and forth in that path between there and there, nothing. And one last shot. I come back this way towards where it fell off of. It must have just flown right off when I picked up speed. But I take the turnoff that goes to the on-ramp, to the highway. I go right to the right under the overpass, and I'm just sort of slowly cruising off the median there, and I look over and I see a piece of paper that looks familiar. One of the QR codes that I used for Venmo on a whole sheet of paper was flapping on the side of the road, and so I stop right there, park at the overpass, and I'm like, yep, that's me, and I just start looking around on the side of the road with all the other trash and all the other debris, and I start seeing bits and pieces.
Oh, wow.
Hell yeah. And you got it all back.
And no, birth certificate gone.
Oh, God.
Little bitty card in the middle of all of this trash, in the middle of the road, out on the side of the road, I find my social security card.
Oh, my God.
That's okay, that's fine, that's all but I also found one little page that a little girl had written to me back 4 years ago when I was on the streets in Fort Worth during my recovery.
Sure.
There was they were feeding people and had a little Christmas, a holiday event.
Sure.
Little girl had made a little picture that says, "Have faith." And she gave it to me.
Oh, wow.
And it really touched me then, so I kept it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And that happened to be one of the things still in the folder that I ended up finding.
Oh, wow.
Have faith. And I'm like, well, yeah, I got my social security card back. I got the important stuff, minus the birth certificate. And I'm like, how could that have happened?
Right.
So, all right, I don't believe in the actual connection to those things, but the meaning and the sentiment of it was powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, so let's push this a little further. Do you believe that actually happened because it was supposed to happen and there was that message that needed to get to you? Or are you just more like you look over and that happens, so then you would...
Well, for one, it was special when, with the little girl who was pitching in with all of the donations and all of that thing there, trying to just spread some human connection, some holiday, so that was touching. That made me cry when I had that back then.
Right.
And it was recognizable enough when I found it, when I was like, after all of that freaking out, that I lost everything that was important in that, that to actually be somewhat successful in recovering that. Mm-hmm. But that was only after the 6th or 7th or 8th try of crossing a whole few city blocks.
Yeah.
So, have faith. That is 100% meaningful and valid for anything. And again, you've got, whether it's stubbornness or determination or persistence or faith.
I love that.
I like that. We should get shirts, have faith.
Have faith.
We got to get merchandise. I'm getting us merchandise.
Yeah.
I might have to share some of my, you've seen my line. The passion, courage, benevolence.
Yeah.
That human trinity.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he sold shirts. Oh, yeah, we got to go.
Oh, we're getting yelled at. All right.
Sorry, I got to go eat, too.
Later,
My daughter's birthday. Say, happy birthday, Jocelyn.
Happy birthday, Jocelyn. I hope you have a fantastic day. Okay, guys, you want to have anything to say to me? Hit me up on Instagram, Dawn_Sullivan_. And I mean that, guys. Anybody in trouble that needs any kind of help, and if you can't make your way out, whatever that looks like, whether that's drugs or a relationship or marriage, whatever, and you need some help, please get in touch with me, Dawn_Sullivan_.
She'll make you wear them little tiny bathing suits.
I'm not going to. No, oh my God.
You have to wear that little underwear,
He's so
the jock strap you basically got to wear.
He's so full of shit. He is
You're basically wearing a jock strap.
Danny, he's a successful model.
It was uncomfortable. I looked at my foot uncomfortable.
sorry.
I thought,
I'm
I hope Don doesn't want to meet. I'm going to wear that. I'm wearing that next week. I'm
No, you
wearing
get
it.
the yellow yoga pants. You get the
Yeah.
banana yoga pants.
Yeah, yellow banana yoga pants for what you said
Banana
about
pants.
Biden.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. All right, real quick, at the Crime Solver, you can email me, the Crime Solver at Yahoo.com. She gets mad at me. But listen, any stories you have, missing persons, cold cases, I'll do a video, I promise you. I get them every day. I got 20 of them this morning when I woke up.
Anyway, be careful in JCPenney, guys. There's like a naked guy rolling around and
Oh,
everything.
we forgot to talk about
Yeah,
that.
that's okay.
Next week, we'll talk about the nude guy.
He's showing his JCPenney.
And he was touching kids and they beat
That's
him up.
funny. Oh yeah, he was touching kids and they beat him up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Careful. Guys, hop on. A lot of stuff. There's a lot going on in the news right now.
See yous.